Should you make your hot chocolate in like a big urn, or should you just add the powder to a cup? Let's discuss this and we'll talk about the pros and cons of each. This is Mike, the Caesar of concessions. All right, all right. Well, hot chocolate season is upon us, my friends, and us as a company, we are selling tons of it. They're flying out the window, and I get this question a lot this time of year. What's better? Should you serve it in a cup, like make it in a cup, or should you have it in an urn? Well, let's start here. An urn, you know, is those big things. They get really hot. They heat up your water and your hot chocolate together, and you just have a spout, and you can pour it directly into whatever size cup you want. So for faster service, an urn is the way to go because, I mean, it is so quick. You just put your cup underneath it, 3, 4, 5 seconds later, you got your hot chocolate, out it goes. So that's really cool as far as an urn goes. Another thing that an urn is great for is for extremely high volume events, okay? Because it is so quick. So there's some positives to using an urn over making it in a cup. Let's talk about the negatives of using an urn. Well, cleanup, right? Cleanup is a pain in the urns, particularly if some of that chocolate, after you mix it in with your water, gets clumpy and it can burn and it's all around the bottom. The cleanup is a pain. Number 2, consistency, because sometimes you're in a heat of battle and your urn isn't all the way down to the bottom. So you're adding water, you're adding your mix, you're stirring it up. That is a tedious and much longer process, right, than just doing individual cups. Next, you're going to have some waste when you do it in an urn because you probably won't be able to sell to the very last cup, right? So you will have some left probably. You'll have to dump it out, and there will be some waste associated with that. Next, it's really hard to do a variety of different flavored hot chocolates when you use the urn method, unless you're using some kind of like pump syrup, but that's not what I use. I use powdered coffee creamers to make our flavors. So you would have to have 4 or 5 different urns if you want 4 or 5 different flavors. And then on top of that, you have to have multiple urns behind that, staging and getting ready. So you'd have to have a lot more equipment if you sold your hot chocolate like the way that I do. If you want to learn about how to get great contracts, you want exclusive content, you want workshops, join my membership team. It's only $2 a month. We have some great stuff in the membership team. Click the link. It'll be in the description below. Now let's talk about cups. Should you use cups individually to make your hot chocolate instead of an urn? Let's go through this. Well, the positive to cups are there's no waste, right? Because you're just using water, because you're actually putting the hot chocolate mix in each individual cup, and then you're just pouring the hot water on top of it, and you're using an electric battery-powered whisk, to make it. So there's no waste. I mean, unless you count water, dumping out the water at the end of an event as waste, well, that would be it. But you have no hot chocolate waste as far as that goes. Next, you can make so many different flavors because all you need to do is make your mix and put it in a container to hold, label the container, and if you want 10 different flavors of hot chocolate, you can do that. You can just go through your different powder mixes and add it to it, okay? Next, you're giving them a hand crafted experience, your customers, much like when you do fresh squeezed lemonade, right? So you're going to get the hot chocolate. You're going to put the mix in, you're going to put the water in, and then you're going to use this battery powered whisk and put it up and down like 3 or 4 times, right? And then you're going to do your whipped cream and drizzle your and they see that. So it's much like a fresh squeezed lemonade from this perspective, that you're giving your customers, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna do it, a handcrafted type of experience, because you're actually mixing the hot chocolate right there in front of them, as opposed to having it in the urn and just pouring it out. So it really depends, what you want to do and what your goals are for a company. Next, let's talk about some of the negatives. Oh, one more positive. One more positive about cups. You don't need a ton of equipment, right? Because, like, if you're making your hot chocolate in urns by themselves, standalone, and then you want to do different flavors, you're going to have like 10, 15 different urns, as opposed to just doing it by the cup. You may only need 1, 2, 3, or 4 urns to keep the hot water coming and running on a rotation basis through your urns. Before I get to the negatives of using cups, this video was sponsored by kettlecornmachine.com. They're a great sponsor to my channel. They make the best lemonade smashing equipment and kettle corn equipment in the market, bar none. Check out kettlecornmachine.com for all your lemonade vending and kettle corn vending needs. Okay. So let's talk about the negatives now of using a cup versus having your mix already in the urns. It can take a little bit longer, right? We're talking, when you go to the urn and it's already pre-mixed, you pour it in, we're talking 4 to 5 seconds, right? When you mix it, we're talking 15, 20 seconds, right? So you are losing some time there versus straight out the urn. You're losing about 10 to 12 seconds. So that depends how important that is to you. Another negative is, that's it. That's the only negative of using a cup versus an urn. So as you can see, from comparing an urn to a cup, you can see which ones I like the best, which is making it rather, in a cup and then serving it, as opposed to pre-making it in an urn. I think the benefits far outweigh the negatives to making it in the cup versus an urn. It's just too many variables in an urn when you're making it like that versus a cup. I hope this clears up some of the urn versus cup mystery and discussion that's going on in our world. This is Mike, Caesar Concessions, out.